a teaching artist with Mattel Arts, a nonprofit out of Twisp, Washington. Today I am out here in the forest on a beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest, and it's spring. Springtime brings flowers, and I am sitting here with a beautiful Trillium somewhere. There it is. And I thought we could draw it together today. It's called nature sketching or nature drawing. And so all you're going to need is a piece of paper and a pencil, and we'll draw the Trillium together. And maybe it'll inspire you to get outside where you are and draw whatever flowers or leaves or things are happening out there. So go ahead and gather your materials and we'll get started. Okay, so here's my nature journal, and I'm just going to use a mechanical pencil. Here's the plant I'm going to draw. This is a Trillium, and I already know that, but sometimes you're sketching plants and then you figure out what they are. So first I'm just going to kind of look at it. I'm looking at the shapes of the leaves. I'm looking at the shapes of the petals and the stalk and getting an idea. And then I'm going to simply come to my paper, and you can sketch really lightly, but I'm going to do kind of the shapes of the petals. You don't have to get every little ruffle or maybe an insect bit the petal. You can, but for today's video, I'm just going to be worried about getting the shape of this flower on my paper for my nature journal. So these are my 3 petals. And then I'm also noticing that there's these 3 green sepals. They look like petals, but they're actually the sepals. So those come in between the petals, and they're a little narrower. So I've got that shape. And then I'm looking at the unique shape of this leaf, and that's what I'll be adding. And guess what? There's 3 of those too. So I'm going to do this shape leaf. You can draw the crinkles and the leaves too if you want, but for this, I'm just going to mostly draw the shapes. And then there's 6 sepals in there, so we can draw those. And then from my angle, the stalk kind of comes down like that. And maybe this leaf's a little bigger. You can always adjust because you drew lightly, right? So I've got the main parts of my plant. Now I'm going to look at the veins. The petals have these cool 3 long veins. The sepals just have 1 that goes down the middle. And look at those leaves. Their veins kind of come down to the point, and then they bend around the shape of the leaf. It's a pretty neat pattern. So each flower has unique characteristics, and each plant does, right? So you kind of want to look for those. And then you can go back and just kind of darken up your lines. And then in every kind of nature sketch, they're quick sketches, right? They're not a masterpiece unless you want to sit out there for a long time, which is great too. You always want to write what it is if you know the name of it, Trillium, and the date that you found it. And it's also nice to remember the location. So I know I'm in the West Forest on my property. So that way if I want to come back and sketch the same flower, I'll remember, oh yeah, that's where I did that. And then you can always write more notes about habitat, or maybe there's some bugs crawling on it you want to draw to or note. But you can fill that in, and then you can simply turn the page, go find another plant or flower, sketch that one real quick, And then later you can always color it in if you'd like, or you can do a longer study. This was a very quick sketch. Some people like to sit out here with their colored pencils or watercolors and do an actual piece of art from nature. So I hope this inspires you. I hope you will turn the page and keep drawing whatever leaves or flowers are around where you live.